Z4. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the explosive new developments rocking the world of General Hospital as secrets long buried come to light, shattering relationships and altering the course of lives in Port Charles. In this chapter, the ongoing custody battle between Michael and Willow reaches its most dramatic and devastating crescendo, driven by betrayals, revelations, and the far-reaching consequences of choices made in moments of weakness. The drama begins with a dogged investigation. Nina, whose complex history with many of Port Charles's residents has never stopped her from meddling in their affairs, stumbles across evidence that could change everything. With suspicions gnawing at her about Sasha's mysterious pregnancy and the rumors swirling through the hospital halls, Nina dives deep into Sasha's past. Her determination pays off when she uncovers proof, photographic, digital, and testimonial, that Michael and Sasha shared a night together not long before Sasha discovered she was pregnant. The timeline is undeniable, the implications are seismic. The revelation is not just a private affair, either. With the custody hearing between Michael and Willow looming, a battle that has already been marked by tension, bitterness, and the scars of previous betrayals, Nina recognizes the power of the evidence she possesses. The future of Wiley and Amelia hangs in the balance, and Nina, never one to shy away from drama, prepares to unveil the truth at the most public and consequential moment possible, on the witness stand before the entire court. The courthouse is electric with anticipation as Willow and Michael face off, both supported by their respective legal teams and surrounded by friends and family. The judge, weary from days of conflicting testimony and emotionally fraught appeals, is determined to reach a fair and decisive verdict. Willow's argument rests on Michael's recent erratic behavior and his history of secrecy, while Michael seeks to demonstrate his fitness as a father and his ability to provide a stable home for Wiley and Amelia. Both parents make passionate pleas, and for a time it seems as though the decision could go either way. It is in this charged atmosphere that Nina makes her move. Taking the stand, she calmly and methodically presents her evidence, revealing to the court and to the stunned audience the undeniable truth that Michael and Sasha's one-night stand resulted in Sasha's pregnancy. Nina supplies messages, time-stamped photographs, and most damning of all, DNA evidence that Michael is the biological father of the child Sasha now carries. The courtroom erupts into chaos. Gasps of disbelief ripple through the crowd, Willow's face contorts in shock and pain, and even the judge is visibly shaken by the revelation. As the facts settle in, the judge calls for order and requests clarification from Michael. Cornered, Michael is forced to admit the truth. He tries to explain the context, that his night with Sasha happened during a period of confusion and heartbreak, that it was not premeditated or malicious, but these explanations ring hollow in the tense, judgmental air of the courtroom. For Willow, the betrayal is compounded not only by Michael's infidelity, but by the fact that it was concealed and only revealed now in the harshest, most public manner possible. The judge's decision is swift and severe. In the eyes of the court, Michael's behavior shows a pattern of recklessness, dishonesty, and disregard for the well-being of his family. The judge expresses deep concern about Michael's judgment, stating that the affair with Sasha, particularly as it led to the conception of another child while Michael was still married to Willow, calls into question his ability to provide a stable environment for Wiley and Amelia. After conferring with both legal teams and reviewing the evidence, the judge rules that sole custody of Wiley and Amelia will be awarded to Willow. Michael is stunned, unable to comprehend the full weight of what he has lost, and outrage quickly fills the vacuum where hope once lived. Willow, for her part, is overcome by a mixture of relief and devastation. She has won the legal battle, but the victory is bittersweet. The cost, public humiliation, the shattering of trust, and the realization that Michael, too, has been unfaithful, leaves her emotionally drained. The children, caught in the crossfire of adult failings, are the ultimate victims, their lives once again uprooted by decisions made far above their heads. As the courtroom empties, Michael remains seated, shell-shocked and silently raging against the world, the system, and ultimately himself. Sasha, recognizing the pain that her presence now causes, approaches him gently. She apologizes, tears in her eyes, admitting that she never meant for things to go this far. Sasha tries to shoulder some of the blame, insisting that their night together was a mistake shared equally, born from loneliness and vulnerability. Michael, still reeling from the judge's verdict, is at first cold and distant. He tells Sasha that the affair was wrong on every level, that both of them, in a single night, undid years of careful progress and healing. But as he looks at her, he sees the same pain reflected in her eyes. The regret, the shame, the longing for forgiveness. Despite the chaos, Michael makes a promise to Sasha. He will take responsibility for the child they have created, whatever the cost. He refuses to run from his obligations, even as he acknowledges that there can be no easy way forward. The days that follow are marked by introspection, regret, and the slow work of coming to terms with a new reality. For Michael, the loss of custody is both a personal failure and a public humiliation. His reputation in Port Charles is in tatters, and his relationships with friends, family, and colleagues suffer. He avoids calls from his mother, Carly, who is herself devastated by the news, and from Sonny, who struggles to balance support with disappointment. Everywhere he goes, Michael feels the sting of judgment, the whispers that follow him through town. Sasha, meanwhile, becomes Michael's unlikely confidant. Despite everything that has happened, they are bound by their shared responsibility and the quiet, unspoken connection that remains from their night together. Sasha, who has struggled for so long with addiction, loss, and the quest for redemption, finds herself drawn to Michael's vulnerability. She supports him through his darkest hours, offering comfort and understanding where others cannot. As the months pass, Michael and Sasha begin to spend more time together, first out of necessity, then out of a growing sense of solidarity. They attend doctor's appointments, discuss plans for the baby, and try to navigate the complexities of their changed lives. Gradually, a tentative trust begins to form between them. Michael comes to appreciate Sasha's strength and resilience, her capacity for forgiveness, and her determination to create a better future for herself and her child. Their relationship, however, is anything but simple. Both are haunted by the events that brought them together, by the people they hurt, and by the fear that they will never fully be able to make amends. Michael's unresolved feelings for Willow, and Sasha's lingering guilt over betraying her friend, threaten to undermine any hope of happiness. And yet, as they weather the storms of public scrutiny and personal doubt, they find themselves drawn closer. Port Charles watches their evolving relationship with a mixture of fascination and skepticism. Some friends and family are supportive, recognizing the genuine affection growing between them, while others are openly critical, unable to forgive the betrayal or forget the pain it caused. Willow, for her part, tries to move forward, focusing on her children and her own path toward healing, but the wounds run deep. Through therapy, heartfelt conversations, and countless small acts of kindness, Michael and Sasha slowly begin to build something new. They create routines around the baby, share moments of laughter and sorrow, and learn to lean on each other in ways they never expected. The journey is long and fraught with setbacks. Old arguments resurface, insecurities flare, and the ghosts of the past refuse to stay buried. But amid the chaos, there are moments of genuine connection, a shared glance, a whispered apology, a promise to do better. Eventually, Michael finds the courage to speak honestly with Willow. He apologizes for his actions, admits his failings, and asks for her forgiveness, not in the hope of reconciliation, but so that they might both move forward. Willow, still nursing her own pain, finds it within herself to forgive Michael, recognizing that clinging to anger will only prolong their suffering. As Michael and Sasha prepare for the arrival of their child, they make a conscious decision to embrace the future, whatever it may hold. They know that many in Port Charles will continue to judge them, that some wounds will never fully heal, and that their relationship will always be colored by the circumstances of its beginning. But they also know that they have an opportunity to build a life together, to raise their child with honesty and love, and to prove that redemption is possible even after the most devastating mistakes. In the end, the question remains, can Michael and Sasha become a true couple, united not only by their child, but by a mutual commitment to growth and forgiveness? The answer is uncertain, but for now, they are determined to try. Together, they face an uncertain future, strengthened by the lessons of the past and the hope that in time, Port Charles will accept their second chance. Next, we will dive into the tumultuous emotional landscape of Port Charles, where a single revelation has set off a chain of heartbreak and betrayal among some of our most beloved characters. The recent soul-bearing confessions between Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer at the edge of the nurses' ball had fans dreaming of a romantic reunion, but a staggering secret about Giovanni Gio Palmieri's parentage has thrown their fragile bond into chaos. As Dante learns he fathered a son with Brooklyn Quartermain during a hidden teenage romance, a truth Lulu suspected and confirmed without telling him, their rekindled connection hangs by a thread. With expanded details, creative rephrasing, and imaginative new elements woven into this gripping saga, let's explore the shattered trust, fiery confrontations, and uncertain futures awaiting these characters in the heart of the Quartermain, Corinthos, and Falconeri family dramas. The air in Port Charles was thick with anticipation as Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer stood on the precipice of the nurses' ball, their whispered admissions of lingering affection echoing through the glittering venue like a melody of hope. For a fleeting moment, under the golden chandeliers and amidst the swirl of elegant gowns, it seemed their storied romance might rise from the ashes of past misunderstandings. But fate, as it often does in this town of secrets, dealt a crushing blow. A devastating truth emerged. Gio Palmieri, a young man woven into the fabric of their lives, is the son Dante unknowingly fathered with Brooklyn Quartermain during a fleeting teenage liaison, a child given up for adoption without his input. Worse yet, Lulu had harbored suspicions about Gio's identity for weeks, piecing together cryptic hints and old letters found in a forgotten Quartermain attic, only confirming the truth days before the ball through a reluctant confession from Lois Cerullo. As Dante absorbs this life-altering news, while standing in the quiet aftermath of the event, still clad in his tuxedo with a loosened bow tie, the sting of Lulu's silence cuts deeper than the revelation itself. Can the tender sparks they reignited withstand this storm of betrayal, or will their newfound vulnerability crumble under the weight of hidden truths? Dante's world imploded in the most public of arenas during the nurses' ball, where the spotlight turned from celebration to scandal as the truth about Gio's parentage spilled forth for all of Port Charles to witness. With the aid of Cody Bell, Lulu's dogged investigation into Gio's origins led to this bombshell moment, branding Dante as a father to a son he never knew existed. But the true dagger to his heart isn't just the discovery, it's learning that Lulu had inklings of this reality for weeks and definitive proof for days, choosing to keep him in the dark while confiding in Cody instead. Still reeling from the profound loss of Sam McCall in 2024, Dante's emotional reserves are depleted, making this perceived betrayal feel like a visceral wound as he stands alone in his dimly lit apartment, staring at a framed photo of happier times with Sam. A brewing confrontation looms, where Dante may unleash his raw pain, accusing Lulu of valuing her sleuthing over the sacred trust they were rebuilding. As he paces the room, his badge and gun resting on the coffee table as symbols of the order he craves, Dante questions why she turned to an outsider like Cody when their shared history demanded transparency. With his newfound role as Gio's father hanging in the balance, will the anger coursing through him extinguish the fragile flame of their rekindled feelings, or can he find space for understanding amidst the hurt? Lulu Spencer, for her part, believed she was shielding Dante from premature pain by withholding her suspicions until irrefutable evidence emerged. Her intention was to guard his already fragile heart, especially given the shock she herself felt upon uncovering Brooklyn's long-concealed pregnancy through a dusty journal hidden in Lois's old belongings. Yet her strategy of silence has spectacularly misfired, igniting a firestorm of resentment. In an upcoming emotional showdown, likely set in the serene but somber backdrop of the Port Charles Park where they once shared countless memories, Lulu will plead her case, her voice cracking as she explains her need to be certain before burdening him with such a monumental truth. But Dante's wounds, deepened by the humiliating public nature of the nurses' ball reveal, may render her justifications hollow. Complicating matters further is Brooklyn's own anguish at discovering Gio is her son, a pain Lulu inadvertently amplified, and Lois's deception, which paints Lulu as potentially complicit in a broader family cover-up in Dante's eyes. As Lulu fiddles nervously with a locket containing a photo of their daughter Charlotte, she faces the harrowing possibility that her dream of reuniting with Dante might dissolve before it fully forms. Can she rebuild the trust she's shattered, or has her decision to prioritize caution over candor pushed him beyond reach? The impending clash between Dante and Lulu could very well chart the course of their future, with ramifications rippling through multiple families in Port Charles. Dante's seething anger might draw him toward Brooklyn, as they share the unique bond of being Gio's biological parents, finding solace in late-night conversations over coffee at Kelly's Diner while sifting through old yearbook photos from their teenage days. Alternatively, he could turn to his father, Sonny Corinthos, for guidance, seeking strength in the patriarch's weathered wisdom during a quiet moment in Sonny's office, surrounded by the lingering scent of espresso and cigar smoke. Such a move might leave Lulu isolated, watching from the sidelines as her ex builds new alliances. Yet their shared history, marked by years of love, loss, and the recent raw confessions at the nurses' ball, holds a sliver of promise. If Dante can peer through the fog of his fury to see Lulu's protective intent, perhaps in a vulnerable moment gazing at old family videos in the Falconeri home, they might salvage their connection. The broader pressures from the Quartermain, Corinthos, and Falconeri clans, all reeling from the Gio fallout, add an extra layer of strain, each family grappling with loyalty and legacy in their own way, from heated Quartermain boardroom debates to tense Corinthos family dinners. Will Dante's bitterness over Lulu's secrecy propel their relationship backward into familiar discord, or can they carve out a path toward forgiveness amidst the chaos? Beyond the central conflict, the shockwaves of Gio's parentage revelation touch other corners of Port Charles, weaving a complex tapestry of emotion and intrigue. Gio himself, caught in the eye of this storm, wrestles with his identity in quiet moments at the local music shop, running his fingers over violin strings as he ponders the parents he never knew he had. Meanwhile, Cody Bell, Lulu's investigative ally, faces scrutiny for his role in unearthing the truth, perhaps retreating to the stables for solace as he questions whether his loyalty to Lulu was worth the collateral damage. Lois Cerullo, the keeper of this long-buried secret, grapples with guilt in her sleek office at Deception, surrounded by framed magazine covers that now seem trivial compared to the family pain she's unleashed. Even young Charlotte Falconeri senses the shift in her parents' dynamic, asking innocent but piercing questions over breakfast about why mommy and daddy look so sad, her words cutting through Lulu like a knife. Each of these perspectives underscores the profound impact of a single hidden truth, reminding us that in Port Charles, secrets are never just personal, they're communal burdens. How will these interwoven stories influence Dante and Lulu's next steps, and who will emerge as an unexpected ally or adversary in their struggle? Next, we will uncover the simmering tensions and shocking betrayals shaking the foundations of Port Charles in the aftermath of the unforgettable Nurses' Ball. Drew Quartermain has emerged as a central figure of controversy, his underhanded maneuvers igniting fury among key players in town. From his ruthless blackmail schemes to orchestrating devastating lies, Drew has made enemies at every turn, particularly with Michael Corinthos' dramatic return and Carly Spencer's unrelenting pursuit of justice in a heated custody battle for Amelia and Wiley Corinthos. With Michael's personal life further complicated by secrets surrounding Sasha Corbin's pregnancy, the stakes couldn't be higher. Join us as we delve into this intricate web of deception, loyalty, and retribution with expanded narratives, inventive twists, and fresh details that breathe new life into this gripping storyline. In the wake of the dazzling yet drama-filled Nurses' Ball, Port Charles is buzzing with indignation as Drew Quartermain stands at the epicenter of a storm of his own making. His calculated schemes have crossed lines that even this town, accustomed to scandal, finds hard to forgive. Drew's blackmail of Dr. Portia Robinson, holding her tampering with Heather Weber's medical tests over her head like a dark cloud, has painted him as a ruthless manipulator willing to exploit even the most vulnerable for personal gain. Additionally, his orchestration of a vicious lie, convincing Willow Corinthos that Michael rejected her during his recovery in Germany by bribing a nurse to deliver the false message, has deepened the fractures in already fragile relationships. As Drew strides through the halls of the Metro Court Hotel, a place where deals are often struck in hushed tones, the whispers of outrage follow him, with every glance from passers-by carrying judgment. With Michael back in town, fueled by a fire to reclaim his family, and Carly Spencer sharpening her claws to protect her grandchildren in the custody battle for Amelia and Wiley, Drew's web of deceit is tightening around him. Will this master manipulator finally reap the bitter harvest of his actions, or does he have another ace up his sleeve to evade accountability once more? Michael Corinthos' return to Port Charles is a thunderclap, charged with personal revelations that add layers of complexity to his mission. While his reappearance is partly driven by the knowledge that Sasha Corbin is pregnant with his child, a secret conceived in a moment of passion before his near-fatal accident, he was initially unaware of the elaborate ruse Sasha and Jason Morgan crafted to protect him. Claiming Jason as the father to shield Michael from scrutiny during his recovery, this arrangement has kept him in the dark about a truth that hits close to home. Now, as Michael pieces together this deception in a quiet corner of the Corinthos coffee warehouse, surrounded by the familiar scent of roasted beans, a storm of conflicting emotions brews within him, gratitude for their protective intent mixed with a sharp sting of betrayal from Jason, his most trusted confidant. A confrontation looms, perhaps over a tense late-night meeting at Jason's penthouse, where Michael might question why such a critical secret was withheld, especially given its potential to muddy his custody fight by casting doubt on his personal stability. Will Michael's words forge a path to understanding with Jason, strengthening their brotherhood, or will this breach of trust create a lasting rift? And how will Sasha's hidden truth impact his battle for Wiley and Amelia? At the Nurses' Ball, Michael's stoic silence was merely the calm before a tempest of fury that's been building since his return. Learning that Willow traveled to Germany to see him during his grueling recovery, only to be turned away by a lie Drew engineered paying off a nurse to claim Michael refused her visit, has ignited a righteous anger within him. In a charged moment at the family home as he grips a worn photo of him and Willow from happier times, Michael's resolve hardens to flip the narrative on Drew, the scheming congressman who sought to drive a wedge for his own agenda. Carly, ever the fierce protector, is quick to arm him with every detail of Drew's plot to pull Willow into his orbit, fanning the flames of Michael's determination as they strategize over legal documents in her living room, the walls lined with memories of Corinthos' family triumphs. This knowledge fuels Michael's plans to expose Drew's machinations during the upcoming custody hearing. He's poised to confront Willow directly, perhaps in a heart-wrenching encounter at the park where their children once played, demanding clarity on her alliance with Drew and their audacious plan to relocate Wiley and Amelia to Washington, D.C. Can Michael's bold challenge sway the judge in his favor, dismantling Willow's case, or will the emotional fallout of this showdown backfire, pushing his family further away? Michael's icy demeanor at the ball was but a prelude to a verbal storm he's ready to unleash, with allies like Carly Spencer and legal shark Diane Miller standing firmly in his corner. He's prepared to publicly call out Drew's manipulative games, tearing into the congressman's facade during a heated exchange that might unfold in the crowded halls of the courthouse, with reporters scribbling notes on the sidelines. Michael may also question Willow's judgment in aligning with Drew, probing whether her trust in him clouds her ability to prioritize their children's well-being. To bolster his image as a committed father, Michael might even consider revealing Sasha's pregnancy during the hearing, presenting himself as a man dedicated to all his children, a move that could catch Sasha off guard as she sits nervously in the gallery, clutching her purse while grappling with the implications of her secret being exposed. Such a revelation risks alienating the mom-to-be, who had hoped to navigate this delicate situation privately. With Sonny Corinthos' unwavering support amplifying Michael's stance, perhaps through a powerful testimony about family loyalty, there's potential for a strong front. Yet, the paternity ruse involving Jason could stir deeper tensions within the Corinthos clan, threatening to unravel family unity at a critical moment. Will Michael's unleashed fury and strategic disclosures secure custody of his children, or will his anger over Sasha and Drew's secrets complicate his fight in unforeseen ways? The broader landscape of Port Charles adds further intrigue to this already volatile situation, with secondary characters caught in the crossfire of Drew's schemes and Michael's crusade. Willow herself, torn between past love and present alliances, might seek solace with a close confidant like Maxie Jones at Crimson's trendy office, pouring out her fears of losing her children while surrounded by fashion sketches that starkly contrast her inner turmoil. Jason Morgan, meanwhile, wrestles with his decision to shield Michael, perhaps reflecting on their bond during a solitary moment at the pier, the lapping waves mirroring his restless thoughts about whether he overstepped. Even young Wiley, sensing the tension, might ask innocent yet piercing questions about why everyone is fighting, his words cutting through Carly during a quiet bedtime story session. Sasha, grappling with the weight of her pregnancy secret, could confide in Brando Corbin's memory at his gravesite, seeking guidance on whether to align with Michael or protect her autonomy. Each of these perspectives highlights the far-reaching consequences of Drew's actions and Michael's response, illustrating how personal battles in Port Charles inevitably become communal reckonings. How will these interconnected stories shape the outcome of the custody battle, and who will emerge as an unexpected ally or foe? As we draw this in-depth exploration of Port Charles' latest drama to a close, the question of Drew Quartermain's fate looms large. Will his manipulative tactics finally lead to a downfall, or will he once again evade the consequences of his schemes? Michael Corinthos' return has set off a cascade of confrontations, from his potential rift with Jason over Sasha's pregnancy secret to his fierce determination to expose Drew's lies in the custody battle for Wiley and Amelia. With Carly and Sonny by his side, Michael's fight is fueled by betrayal and a longing to reclaim his family, but every move carries risks of emotional and legal fallout. We invite you, our dedicated GH fans, to share your thoughts in the comments. Will Michael succeed in dismantling Drew's web, or will his own secrets sabotage his efforts? Tune in to ABC to witness every twist, every accusation, and every tear as this saga unfolds. Until then, keep watching, keep speculating, and let the drama of Port Charles hold you captive.